My name is AJ Felix. My mom and dad called me Alan Joe from Sturgeon Lake, Saskatchewan by Prince Albert. And I became a politician quite young. And I was in politics over 35 years. And while I was in politics, my colleagues called me AJ and found out that my birthday is December 24th, 11:45 p.m., 15 minutes from Christmas. So they converted that AJ to almost Jesus. So I'm known nationally as almost Jesus.
Almost Jesus.
Almost Jesus. Anyway, I've got quite a history that I carry with me, and I am still the pipe keeper and fire keeper for Treaties 1 to 11, and I've been at it for close to 30 years. And I'm the one that carries the pipe and the next fire log for Treaties 1 to 11. The fire log is removed from the fireplace in the last gathering in two pieces. One piece for the one that's going to host the next one, and I keep the other. And what we do with that fire log is we call it the Sacred Treaty Fire Log. And we use those two fire logs in the next fireplace to start the fire. And the fire carries on for 4 days. So I've been doing that, as I said, about 30 years. And the wife is the co-fire keeper. She's the co-fire keeper because the fireplace, the sacred treaty fireplace, is that secret that a man and a woman have to look after it. And we're doing that, and we're still doing that. I got it with me here. It's en route to go and hand down to the next Treaty 1 to 11 gathering. That'll be my last trip and my last official duty of hosting a Treaty 1 to 11 as the main fire keeper, as the main pipe keeper, and somebody else will take it from here. So the reason why I asked for transferring, and the reason why this is my last one is my traveling is a little limited now. I'll be 80 years old this Christmas Eve. I'll be 80 years old, and we're starting to find that we're kind of limited now in our transportation. But we're still here. We were here last year in this camp, and we get invited to some annual camps. This is one of them. And I was supposed to have been in Ochap for the annual medicine gathering that FSIN hosts every year. And that's happening this week as well, so I couldn't be in two places. So I chose to come back here. So my role has been also I'm the Uskapeos, that means the helper, for Treaty 6. And I've been there, I would say I was there for 40 years. I'm still the Treaty 6 Uskapeos at Fort Carlton. This is where these people signed treaty. And some of us signed treaty in Fort Carlton, Treaty 6. Some of them signed treaty in Fort Pitt. So but they're all Treaty 6. Treaty 6 was signed in 18 different centers during the years of 1876 to 1954. Treaty 6 was signed in 18 different venues. So, I've been a treaty man, and I've also been I've been involved in leadership. I was Grand Chief. I was the first serious Grand Chief of Prince Albert Grand Council. I served as the Grand Chief there for 12 bands. And then I got elected into the FSIN. I was a Vice Chief there. And from there I got elected by the Saskatchewan Chiefs to be the National Vice Chief for Saskatchewan, and I worked with Ovid Mercredi. He was the chief. And then when this started, the Treaty 1 to 11 started, Ovid Mercredi was the first spokesperson, and I was his firekeeper. That's how I was involved with Treaties 1 to 11. And that's going on 30 years.
Wow.
So the wife and I have been on duty for a long, long time. Treaty 6, Treaties 1 to 11, and we've tried to serve our people that way. And many people have called upon us in their communities to help out what we're doing here in Red Pheasant. Red Pheasant has been one of the leading traditionally oriented reserves that I know. A lot of the reserves have gone this direction. What this direction is going for is we were interfered with, and I was one of them. I went to residential school, and I went to that school for 13 years, residential school. And the intent of residential schools, according to Sir John A. Macdonald, is get them to forget their language, get them to forget their spirituality, give them a new language, give them a new faith. And I was one of them that was redirected to Catholicism, to be a Catholic. And the intent of the residential schools were several-fold, and that's why we're here. The intent of them was, Sir John A. Macdonald said, get rid of the buffalo. First, we'll build a railroad. So they hired a bunch of Chinese, and they built that railroad. The railroad was supposed to help them connect the whole country with BC. So they did. They made that railroad, but as they were building that railroad, they had to have a land discussion with the Indians. And as they did so, as they moved across the prairies, they signed Treaties 1 to 11. And when they signed Treaties 1 to 11, that gave them the constitutional right to build their railroad and start making title for cities, for lands, even for provinces. And they did that. So they had to tie up the country with treaties first, clear up the land to sign those treaties. Now, the other thing that they did as soon as they built the railroad was they had to kill the buffalo, because there was millions of buffalo all over all over Canada and the United States. So they said, we'll use the railroad, we'll bring the hunters out, and we'll slaughter the buffalo. We'll clear the land of buffalo, because our people will not be able to farm with the buffalo here. So let's get rid of the buffalo, and that's what we'll do with the railroad. We'll use the railroad, and we'll bring all the hunters, and what we will do is we'll buy the tongues from the hunters and the hides. That's all we need. Meat we don't need. So they killed off millions of buffaloes. And the next thing that they needed to do was they needed to get rid of the Indians that are all over the country. And these guys that are trying to farm need them off the road. So what they did was they said, when we sign those treaties, we'll give them little plots of land, many times away from the growing land, because we're going to need the land for our farmers. And if there's resources, we need them away from the resources. So we'll give them little plots of land where we'll say this. We'll tell them this land is for you to build your homes in, and we'll help you build homes, this little piece of land. And what it does is you will have a safe haven for you and your family. We'll keep you safe from the new people that are coming in. We'll keep you safe. And we will also provide you police to protect you. We'll provide you those. And in the meantime, everything that you had in the past, your inherent rights, they will remain. What we're doing with you with treaty is over and above your inherent rights. You have those rights that you've had all your lives. You had the right to raise children. You had the right to teach children. You had the right to have a language. You've had the right to pray the way you want to pray. You've had the right to believe in your beliefs with the land, your relationship with the land. That will remain forever. We don't want your water. We can come and dig for water to provide for our livestock and our families. We don't need your animals. Those are yours. We have livestock. We've brought livestock. And we only need 6 inches of your land to grow our crops. That's all we need. And we also do not intend to bother your lifestyle. The way you teach your children, that's yours. So what we will do is those are going to be in the promises that we make. We promise you that we will look after you. We promise you that we will provide you the best medicines that we have. And you can continue to use the medicines that you have. You will continue to use them. So the treaty was signed, but there was no mention that, it's aside from the little blocks of land, we gave up the rest. There was no mention of giving up any land. And we also told them, no, we're not going to, we can't sell you land. That's what we told them. Treaties 1 to 11, not one of them talks about selling land. So they said, we won't sell you land because it's not ours to sell. The land that we're living on is related to us. That's our mom. And we can't sell you our mom. Neither can we sell you a piece of our mom. That's unheard of, to sell your mom. But what we will do is we will agree to share our mom with you. That's what we'll do. But you're not buying it, and we're not selling it. We were given by our spirit world that we are protectors of this land. We are the ones that actually were given from the Creator a land that we will protect. And you know who this land belongs to? It belongs to our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. It's their land. It's not our land. It's their land. And that's how we will agree to you coming to live with us. That's how we will agree. And the commissioner said, okay, what we'll do is, because we borrowed this much, we will tax our people when they come. We will tax our people when they come, and that by taxing them, we will provide you the promises that we made. That's how we're going to pay for the promises, all the promises. And those promises were, one of them was medicine, another one was education, another one was economic development, another one is the rights to the land. The keepers of the land were going to remain with us. So that was my job, and I know most areas in treaties were not adhered to. They've all been broken. But we're in the courtrooms, and I know over 150 court cases alluding to treaty. We've won every one of them. Every one. Every court case that we had, we've won. And we continue to win. There was a court case on land, a court case on cow and plow. See, we won that. The whole country is getting cow and plow because they didn't receive the money for the money and the wherewithal to farm. Nobody received that. So now everybody's getting it, right across the country. I know this reservation got theirs. I don't know what they got, $3,500 apiece. Each man, woman, and child got $3,500. And that was supposed to be in payment of something that was not followed up. But that's not, they're trying to say we're paid off. No, because the treaties said, as long as the sun shines, the rivers flow, and the grass grows. See, there's still next year, there's still the following year, and there's still the unborn. So when they try to tell us legally that I'm paid in full, I'm saying, no, I'm not. It's just the start of a promise that was made on day one that was not followed up, and that you give me payment now for some, but you're going to have to keep looking after me for the years to come. And the other thing that you're not doing is You said for every family of 5, you're going to give me a square mile of land. Well, there's been thousands of families of 5 since 1876 that you didn't look after. And they're still here waiting for their land. And that's also in court. The other thing that's in court, since I was involved in Treaties 1 to 11, all the audits were done. It's a multi-trillion-dollar debt that they owe because they did not pay their share in the crops that they made, the oil that they dug out, the trees that they cut, the fish that they sold, on and on and on. Multi-trillion-dollar supposedly trust fund that had been building on the Indian share of the resources on the land and the developments of the land. It's still a court case. And the other thing that I know is happening is we in the Indian community, we are also looking at without treaty, there would be no land title or the use of land. No city could have title or call themselves a city without having agreed to that treaty. You will agree with this treaty. That's what gives you some authority to assign to your people that open land on farm use, city use, development use, gravel development use. Yeah, you have that right to sign that title. But that title, it belongs to the feds. It doesn't belong to the local town. It doesn't belong to the local province. It belongs to the federal treasury. And the federal treasury and us, the treaty people, have an agreement. The land is never sold. You don't own it. You didn't buy it. So therefore, you will have a federal trust on the land that is on loan to you. And what we will do, the understanding legally that we have is you are the federal trustee for your people that come and live on the land and pay taxes on it. The moment they quit paying taxes on that land, they have to be removed. You're the federal trustee of our land. So, it's already there. The agreement is already there. The land has not been sold. There is no title to the land to any country or even Canada or any province. There's no title. The land still belongs to the Indians. So that's what we understand that. And quite an agreement and an understanding and a promise that we picked up on. They said, we will provide you teachers and schoolhouses, and you will gain the cunning of the white man. We have the cunning of the white man. We have lawyers. We know their law. We understand their law. Because now we have the cunning of the white man, and we're winning every court case. So I'm glad, that this is happening. And although it might seem that First Nations people are the poorest in the land, no, we're not going to be. Things are coming back. things are coming back. And then this culture camp is a continued education program for our young people. This land, it's not just land, it's our mom. And we're teaching them that. This land is related to us. Before this land was completed by the Creator, He didn't put us here when the land was not complete. Once the land was complete, He put us here. And every four-legged animal that's around, every tree that's around, every blade of grass, even every leaf, every medicine in the bush, it's all related to us. And we're still not lost people. Them trees still talk to us. The sun that rose this morning, he's one of the main spokes elements in creation. He talks to us. The thunderbird that you heard this morning, the thunder, he still talks to us. The wind spirit talks to us. And the northern buffalo or moose spirit, they still talk to us and they still provide. Here's what they provide. We're teaching them. The sun provides us heat and light and medicine. The thunderbird provides us fire, water. And the wind spirit provides us not only the breeze, but it provides us with oxygen to live. That oxygen, every plant, even the fish under the water, need oxygen to live. That wind spirit has that. And the northern spirit provides us not only food, but he also provides us with medicine. And also provides us with clothing, with material for our homes, and tools. That's how all these things right around provided us everything. And we're teaching them that the sun, the rain, and the wind, they make that grass grow. With the heat, with the water, and with that oxygen, they make it grow. And that deer comes to eat that. And then we in turn, that deer's been here longer than us. So we call him our older brother and our older sister, the deer. The deer provides us with food. So that's what we're teaching our children. We're teaching our children everything that grows is our relative. Everything that's around, the trees, the rocks, everything, the water, everything. And that's why we talk to everything. And I know, just even living here in camp, I'm not a lost person living in camp. I know where I am. And I know what and who is related to me. I know who's looking after my family while I'm gone. I know, because I talk to them. And this morning we had a pipe ceremony, and we talked to all of them. We talked to all of them. Everything in that bush has medicine. All the medicines that our people need are in that bush. Our people didn't just learn about them. No, the spirit world told us about that medicine. Taught us that medicine. The spirit world taught us our Cree language. It wasn't a professor in some school that taught us the Cree language. No, it was given to us in a spiritual way. There are over 350 dialects across Canada. Every one of them was given their language in a spiritual way. It's amazing. So, we also, not only are we related to the rest, and the creation story was there, and everything that's around us, the 4 or 5 directions, the grandma that looks after the fireplace, the moon looks after the women and their business, and the rearing of children and having children. Grandma, the moon, is the teacher, and she talks to the women, the old ladies, on how to not only direct children, but also how to have children and how to heal children. Grandma. That's where we got our original teaching from Grandma. So I wanted to say my story is I belong. Now, anyone that comes to our territory becomes a treaty person. Anyone that lives in Treaty 6 becomes a Treaty 6 person. Doesn't matter if they're yellow, black, brown, red, or white. They're all treaty people. They live on treaty land. And they become the treaty family. Because we signed treaty, we made an agreement that we were going to share, and yes, we become brothers under him. You got to have a mom to tread. The people that came to sign treaty, we told them, you must have a mom. You must have a dad, like we do. We probably share it. So therefore, we'll sign treaty, but we will share. I cannot sell. I will not sell. So that story on relationship and what we're teaching our children are never orphaned, even if they have no mom, no dad. And all you need is a small gift. If you haven't got a mom or a dad, a small gift to go and offer a person that you like or that you have feelings for. If you don't have a dad, give that man a gift. I want you to be my dad. And I haven't heard of people saying no. I want you to be my mom. I don't have a mom here anymore. I want you to be my mom. Or else a young fella is orphaned. A young fella is orphaned. I want to be your dad. You'll be my son from now on. It goes on. It does not stop. And I for one, I'm a pipe keeper, and I have been approached by the spirit world on things that are coming, things that I need to talk about, to share. I have been approached by trees, by the rock, by a ceremony, or even by an individual. They have approached me to tell me something, and that's been my legacy. So with that, I want to say to you, your story on why are these Indians into culture camps? They want to ensure that their children have their real story on who they are and where they belong related. So I thought I'd say that today. So with that, my belief is, yeah, they were there when we signed treaties. They were there. They talked. In fact, they told us what to include in that treaty. That treaty is just as good as the day it signed 149 years ago for this reserve. The day it was talked about and what was agreed on and how relevant was the discussion is as relevant then as it is today. It's alive and it's well. It's people that want to make it irrelevant. That said, they might have promised too much, but they made sure that we weren't short on the needs that we had then and the needs that we have now. Those promises that were made are relevant. In fact, they are more than what they state. The rights still have to be fulfilled because those are big promises.
Yeah.
So with that, I want to say that, and I want to say that I talk too much. I would talk all afternoon, and
Yeah, no, it was so much information in that. That was amazing.
yeah. So I want to say
You also have a very awesome talking.
Yeah, you're able to tell the story well.
this is where we are. In fact, visitors are welcome in our lodges, and visitors are just as prone to receive the gifts that we talk about in those lodges. We're not saying that this is by doctrine that we only us will receive. No, we've had people that come into our lodges that received, got healing. So our churches are not only for us. We welcome family, and we welcome family since we signed treaty. We welcome everyone. They're all family now. In fact, that family that we invited sometimes do not understand that they now are family. They are now treaty people. We are treaty Indians, and that man there is a treaty Jamaican. Yeah, they're treaty.
Yeah.
And I'm responsible for treaty. David, I let him know you are now responsible for treaty. Because you are living on treaty land and you belong. I can't say you don't belong. No, you belong. You made that choice to belong.